Rachel Louise, Justin Bozeman, where multiple crashes throughout the day have caused major issues for drivers.
I'm Stella Sun in Stevensville, where classes were delayed by 2 hours at Stevensville High School for the first time this school year.
I'm Brooke McCarthy here in Anaconda, where new precautions have been put into place after last year's chaotic winter.
I'm Mike Setz here at McDonald Pass, where trains have been required to travel through the area all day, and visibility is next to zero.
I'm Rafika Sham in Great Falls, where truckers tells me it's not just the snow, it's the frosty conditions as well that are making their travels just a little bit more difficult.
Covering Montana right now, this is ABC Local News at 5:30.
And folks, I'm Ben Weinman. Angela Marshall has a night off this evening. Tonight, Montana, we are in a weather authority alert as snow, wind, and ice force safety warnings on many roads across the state. I-15 from the Idaho border to Monida, all the way to Clark Canyon Reservoir. It's actually been closed due to severe driving conditions. Our Greg Perez, he's right now in the Weather Center. He's been tracking all these storms for us. Greg, what's the latest and what can people be expecting in the next 24 hours?
Hi everyone. Yeah, well, the snow is still falling, especially in southeastern Montana, but we also have a little bit to talk about down towards the southwest as there's a winter storm warning in effect up until tonight at around 6 p.m. That includes the likes of Bozeman and Dillon. Once again, that expires at around 6 p.m. The surrounding areas near Helena and Butte are under a winter weather advisory. The Doppler radar showing just a little bit of snow in central Montana, not a whole lot down towards the southwest, but most of it is along that I-90 corridor and where it splits off with I-94. The weather headlines for tonight: light snow and cold temperatures in the single digits for the most part, and the cold temperatures are continuing. However, the autumn conditions could be returning by this weekend. I'll explain more in my full forecast. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Greg. Well, drivers there are battling intense road conditions, trying to avoid crashes throughout southwest Montana today. Our Rachel Louise Just, she was on the scene of one of those crashes earlier. She joins us now live in Bozeman tonight. Rachel, what conditions have improved since this afternoon?
Well, Ben, conditions are not really improving out here in Bozeman, and while we're not seeing as much snow as we did earlier today, this slush is turning to ice and the likelihood of accidents only continues to rise. And right now what drivers are dealing with, they're trying to navigate through about, from what I've seen, 6 to 7 inches of snow here in southwest Montana as plows struggle to keep up. One accident we saw earlier in Bozeman, an overturned semi driving too quickly for the conditions, sliding off the road and shutting down the westbound lane of I-90 near Bozeman for about 30 minutes. There were no injuries since the driver was wearing their seatbelt. Just down the road between Livingston and Big Timber, 2 multi-vehicle pileups that started this morning temporarily shut down both I-90 east and westbound. So far, no reports of injuries, but we are still waiting on more information on that crash. And we'll continue to keep you updated throughout the night, both on air and online. But I have to say, if you do need to drive tonight, please take a message from this sign behind me and slow down. Live in Bozeman, Rachel Louise Just, Montana Right Now.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Make sure you as well stay safe out there. With the weather that we've seen this week in Montana, some students, though, they got to sleep in a little bit later this morning with a 2-hour delay. Our Stella Sun went down to the Bitterroot Valley to talk with the man in charge of deciding whether it's safe for students to come to school.
It's only October 9th, and Stevensville High School had its first 2-hour delay of the school year because freezing rain turned into snow, making dangerous driving conditions for school bus drivers. It was a 4:30 a.m. wake-up call this morning for Paul Ludington, the Stevensville School District Transportation Supervisor.
I don't like to have to get out at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning, but it's nice to be able to get out there and check the roadways and find out what they're like.
Ludington says he has 4 weather apps on his phone, and whenever there's bad weather, he makes the call to delay or cancel school.
I didn't really want to cancel school today because it is homecoming week.
Stevensville School District buses transport up to 550 students each day, about half of the district population. Ludington says some bus drivers encountered slick roads this morning, but nothing too crazy.
It was a little bit of a surprise for them this early in the year.
Ludington's main concern isn't the buses themselves, but other drivers when there's icy roads.
Hate to have somebody run into a bus.
Tonight, temperatures will drop to the teens. This afternoon, Ludington was already preparing for tomorrow.
If it gets 17 degrees or below, we plug them in the night before so that they're ready to go in the morning. We don't have to worry about
hard starting.
Ludington will have many more 4:30 a.m. wake-up calls, but it's a job he takes very seriously to make sure his students are safe. Reporting in Stevensville, I'm Stella Sun, Montana Right Now.
All about safety. Thank you so much, Stella. Well, last winter, over 4 feet of snow blanketed Anaconda in just a matter of days. It actually took the county over a week to shovel themselves out with some much-needed help from the state. Our Rick McCarthy spoke with officials in Anaconda today who say that this year they're better prepared than ever.
County officials and residents here in Anaconda say they've taken some new precautions after last year's chaotic winter. Snow removal crews were busy today. Chris Finnegan, owner of Man on a Mission Snow Removal, says they had 28 houses today to shovel. But after last year, 3 inches of snow is nothing.
When we got that 4 feet of snow, I spent 8 hours a day, 5 days trying to catch up. We were only averaging about 5-6 houses a day.
Finnegan says this year they made sure all their machines were ready to go for the storm.
Best thing is to make sure all your machines are serviceable and you have good shovels ready to go.
County officials have also stepped up their preparedness level. Anaconda Deer Lodge County purchased new equipment, added another full-time snowplow operator, and have new emergency snow routes.
Since we're a little jumpy this year, the first sight of snow, they're calling, wanting to know what we're going to do. Well, we are prepared for snow every year, but last year definitely has left some stains on people's memories.
The roads were clear this afternoon. Crews even started salting the roads at 3 o'clock this morning. Chief Executive Everett says although last year was devastating for the community, he's proud of Anaconda.
Some lessons learned, but I think the most beneficial thing about last year is, boy, the community really pulled together. It's truly a team effort. Residents helping residents, police department, fire department, everyone pitched in.
Temperatures are expected to fall into the single digits tonight and into tomorrow here in Anaconda, and Chief Executive Everett wants to remind residents to check on their neighbors and stay out of the elements. Reporting in Anaconda, Brooke McCarthy, Montana Right Now.
Thank you so much, Brooke. Well, as the second winter storm has hit western Montana, road conditions and visibility, they're a huge concern near Helena. Our Mike Stetz, he's live at McDonald Pass tonight. Mike, what are the current weather conditions looking like there right now?
Ben, conditions in town are starting to lighten up as the day goes on, but as you can see with snow flurries coming down, it's making it very hard to see at the top of the pass. Take a look at this video. Most of the roads in the city are cleared off, but that's not the case over the pass. I shot this video today during my ride along with Shane Hart over the McDonald Pass. The higher in elevation we were, the worse the visibility got. With temperatures still below freezing, roads are starting to get icy. Crews here are working in 12-hour shifts, covering more than 200 miles in a day, adding a mix of dirt and salt behind them to help keep us on the roads.
We have 6 people on this crew, and I think we have 6 trucks and a tow plow. And we try and keep them all going during a storm situation. So
crews are expecting to work through the night to keep the roads clear, but as the evening goes on and the sun starts to go down, driving visibility is going to get even worse. So make sure you use extreme caution while you're out there. And head to our website where you can find a link to road conditions throughout the entire state. Reporting in Helena, Mike Stetz, Montana Right Now.
Thank you very much, Mike. Stay warm out there as well. And in Cascade County, slick roads, they're causing hazards not only for resident drivers, but also for truck drivers. Our Afika Sham talked with a few truckers today to learn what they saw today on the roads.
I'm at the Flying J Plaza where truckers are parking and refueling just behind me to take a break from their drives. And while conditions across parts of north central Montana are a bit calmer compared to those in the south, truckers say it doesn't make the roads any less hazardous for them to drive on.
Wet, icy and slick. Today's roads are dangerous for any driver, but truckers especially have to mind their speed, since the weight of their vehicles and cargo combined can make it tricky to safely slow down. And when it comes to driving across the state in snowy weather, Ian McDonald tells me not being prepared is one of the biggest mistakes truck drivers can make.
A lot of people go out and they don't bring an extra jacket or boots or things like that in. They drive like it's still summer. They get in trouble and then they're stuck. and then all of a sudden they have no jacket, they have no boots, and they're standing in the snowbank on the side of the road.
If you're driving by and want to safely pass a truck on the snowy roads, Ian says it's better to give truckers plenty of space before switching lanes, instead of driving right alongside them.
Whether you drive a truck, car, or another vehicle entirely, the best thing you can do is to slow down and be considerate of other drivers. Reporting from Great Falls, I'm Afiq Hisham, Montana Right Now.
A lot of information thrown at you right there, folks, but we have a whole lot more coming up in ABC Montana News at 5:30. Coming up in sports, Keith the Mulder will tell us about this week's Mattress Firm Student of the Week, who is honoring her mother by teaching Special Olympic athletes the sport she loves. That's coming up after Greg's full Weather Authority forecast when we come back.